Welcome to On Roads Less Travelled Off-Road Adventures. In this video we're going to go down the Kingspur Track to Mayford Old Town site. The views across the mountains as we approach are just spectacular. The Kingspur Track takes us down to the old Mayford town site. Gold was first discovered downstream from Mayford in the early 1860s, causing a gold rush to occur in the upper tributaries. Apparently, a miner, Jimmy Bloomfield, found rich gold in 1863, triggering the gold rush. He later died in the snow trying to return to that location. The track itself was blazed by Mr. Angus Macmillan in 1861. Heading down Kingspur Track to the old Mayford town ruins. We've just come through Devil's Hollow. Mayford once promised to be a booming gold town on the upper Dargo goldfield. In 1866, the government had house lots and streets laid out in expectation that the town would grow. However, only one site was occupied, where the King family had their store. The Kingspur Track is very steep and narrow, with little to no opportunity to pass oncoming vehicles, requiring someone to reverse and then perch as you pass. The water diversion mounds are very, very steep and high. In our long wheelbase Jeep, we banged and scraped many times despite our snail-pace speed and extra caution. The track drops off steeply to the side and you get an intermittent view across the valley. Once in the valley, there are several river crossings to navigate. In anticipation of the rugged terrain, we have our tyres dropped down to 20 psi. Being the Labor Day long weekend in Victoria, we encountered quite a number of other vehicles. The river crossings are fairly easy to navigate. Some, like this one, are deeper than others. We keep the CB radio on scan mode to help alert us to other nearby vehicles. Here is the old Mayford town site. I was hoping to see ruins. However, as I later found out, the buildings were made from wood, not stone, and so would have rotted away long ago. A lovely flat area near the river. The Dargo River is part of the Mitchell River catchment area, with its source being Mount Higginbotham. Its course runs for 108 kilometres. Might even have to go for a dip. We've come down to the Mayford town ruins. There's no buildings, but there's lots of great campsites, and this is the Dargo River, which is refreshingly crisp and cool. Definitely a dry weather track only though, as it's very steep. The water's deep enough for kids to have a bit of a daddle, or for you to soak yourself in the cool, refreshing water. A beautiful place to camp. You can find gems of campsites like this, very close to the river's edge. Lots of them, lots of campsites. And there we are camped down there by the Dargo River. Beautiful spot to camp. The Upper Dargo Road runs close to the river for 20 kilometres and is popular with fishermen trying their luck at catching brown trout. In the Aboriginal language, Dargo means to have patience or to wait, which is the essence of all fishing. As the Kingspur Track only leads to the old Mayford town site and has no other tracks leading off from it, we are headed back up to Hotham Heights and Devil's Hollow. As it was coming down, the track up is very steep and almost feels vertical. Extra care is needed going over the steep water diversion humps so your vehicle doesn't scrape and bump. Having a long wheelbase vehicle adds extra challenge. And can unfortunately be unavoidable on some of the really steep ones. The footage doesn't really show just how steep this track is. It's a good track, it's a great track to drive, it's fun, but it is steep and does have its challenges. Thankfully he's reversing. Yeah, not such a bad place after all. Watch out for rocks hidden in the long grass at the sides of the road. Look at those beautiful mountains. How blessed are we to live in Australia? So 689 metres down the bottom, up to around 1470 metres. We've driven up and we're just about back at the sign for Kingspur Track. We've come up almost 900 metres from the base where Dargo River runs up to Devil's Hollow.